A warning tonight if you like to garden. A new study shows high levels of lead and arsenic in many gardens throughout HRM. Brian Dubray has the details. Brian.
Amy, the Ecology Action Centre and the Nova Scotia Agricultural College collected samples from 44 community and private gardens throughout the HRM area, and they tested those samples for heavy metals. Now, here's what they found. They found that in 1/3 of the samples, concentrations of lead were higher than acceptable guidelines, and in almost half of the sites, they had higher than acceptable levels of arsenic. Now, most of those sites were located on the peninsula of Halifax and in downtown Dartmouth. Now, they also tested for levels of copper and zinc, but in only a couple of locations they found higher than acceptable levels of those two metals. Now, the Ecology Action Centre says it's not surprised by those findings. They say it's simply a byproduct of living in an industrialized society.
Well, Brian, high levels of lead and arsenic are obviously troubling. What can gardeners do about it?
Well, the study says it offers a couple of recommendations to try to mitigate the contamination of soil in your garden. For example, it suggests that you use raised garden beds with clean soil. But because the wind will blow contaminated soil onto those raised beds, it also suggests removing the top 3 to 5 centimeters of soil each year and replacing it with compost. And it also says the best way to avoid ingesting contaminated soil is to wash all your vegetables carefully and to peel root vegetables like carrots and potatoes before eating them. And it suggests you wear gloves while working in your garden and wash your hands when you're done. Now, the Ecology Action Centre says it is still a very strong supporter of urban gardens. It simply suggests you follow these precautions. And it also says that if you're planning to start a new garden, get your soil tested first. Amy?
Sounds like good advice. Thanks, Brian. That's the CBC's Brian Dubray live in the newsroom tonight.